Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. I'm Jill Bloom, Group Publisher of Walls and Ceilings, and welcome to a special episode of If Walls Could Talk. It's an honor to have with me Phil Garner, who is the business development manager for USG, who oversees StructoCRETE. Phil, great to see you, and thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thanks, Jill. It's good to be here. I appreciate you having me here for the interview.
Absolutely. Well, there's no doubt StructoCRETE has some really cool features and benefits that I really want to kind of dive into those details. So what do all the contractors listening need to know about StructoCRETE?
Well, what they need to know is StructoCRETE is a 3/4 inch thick, 4x8 tongue and groove concrete panel that replaces pan deck and poured concrete or hollow core plank and type 1 and type 2 mid-rise construction for subfloors and roof decks.
Okay.
We also now have a 1/2 inch square edge product that can be used for certain roof deck applications as well as for high STC load-bearing walls.
Okay.
It can be used in regular walls as well, but that's just the big thing for it. 9 out of 10 times these GCs that are doing type 1 and type 2 or non-combustible mid-rise projects, multifamily, senior living, student housing, these kind of things.
Yeah.
90% of them probably are either pan deck with poured concrete or hollow core plank. StructoCRETE weighs 1/10 the weight of the poured concrete.
That's amazing.
Simply, it's huge saving there. And it's 1/16 the weight of the hollow core plank. Well, the beauty of that is by changing to this, now they can use smaller footers. There's all kinds of dominoes that fall. They can use smaller footers, less bracing and blocking, a lighter gauge steel. All of these things add up to money savings.
Well, yeah. Does that mean it also saves in shipping costs as well? Because it's the weight, or is it kind of made on site?
Well, the shipping costs can be substantial if you only order 1 or 2 units. If you're ordering in full truck quantities, it's not so bad, but it's still heavy. But the other beautiful thing about it is they're able to eliminate a job trade off the job site that they would otherwise have to coordinate. So when I started talking to the GCs, the two biggest things to them were, hey, this is a dry system. It's cured when it shows up. My framer screws it down onto the subfloor or on the roof deck or wherever. I no longer have to have that other trade on there, so dry, one less trade. They love that. I didn't realize how big that was to all of them. So it shaves, if you're using a poured topping like concrete or a poured gypsum, you're gonna have to wait for it to cure. So by using StructoCRETE as opposed to those other options, you're able to shave weeks, sometimes a month or more off of your job site, off your job schedule.
Well,
and
contractors have got to love that, especially the GCs, right?
And time is money. And a lot of those guys now, as a caveat in their contracts, have a stipulation that, hey, if we finish early, we get a bonus.
Aha.
Hello bonus.
So maybe is that the trick then internally? They're like, well, don't tell them we're using StructoCRETE because we know we're going to be done 3 weeks early and we're going to get that big bonus.
It's something for them to keep in the back of their mind. But I won't say that, but it's something for them to keep in the back of their mind. But it helps them out tremendously. And it's just, evolving technology. And when they walk around the show here, they'll see all kinds of new products. Yeah. This is a product that's been around for a while. It's just nobody knows about it very much.
Well, and that's what you and I were talking about before we even sat down, was that it has been around. It has been around for a while, and as people are getting to understand more about it. But tell us more about how it can help contractors save money, because clearly that's a huge piece of it.
Yeah, that's big, because when I talk to people, and I used to train sales reps, I used to explain to them about WIFM. We talked about this on the phone. What's in it for me?
Right.
So everybody wants to know what's in it for me. If this product is more expensive, why do I need to use it? Well, we're not more expensive. So to start with, we're less expensive than those other options. But additionally, on top of that, they're going to be saving on all these other areas. So you're not going to have to pay somebody to come and test the cure. You can use, as I said earlier, that lighter gauge steel in many cases, smaller footers. These are all big dollar things that show up. So it's kind of a domino effect. When you switch over to doing this, suddenly you save not only on the product, but in several other areas of construction. And so there's a huge benefit to them as both a GC or as a subcontractor, because for the subcontractors who are the framers, the drywall subs, this is a new line of revenue for them. This is money that used to go to a different trade, but it makes sense for them to do it because it screws down to the framing just like drywall would normally go on the wall. They're the ones building the frame. So, if something, heaven forbid, happens down the future and things slow down, Well, this can help cushion that slowdown by having that new line of revenue.
Yeah.
Just makes sense.
Makes a ton of sense.
It does.
So what would you say when you talk to the contractors that are using StructoCRETE, what do they say they love the most about it?
It's funny. They're all scared at first because they say, well, that panel weighs 170 pounds for a 4x8 panel. But then when they start handling it, they realize it's a 2-person job, which is no big deal, but then they realize how easy it is to install and how fast it goes. So they love that fact. They love the fact that they don't have to schedule in having a pump truck come in and block off all the traffic and move everybody out of the way.
Yeah.
And then they love the fact that as soon as it is screwed down, the follow-on trades can jump on it immediately. They don't have to wait.
They don't have to wait, okay.
And additionally, because it is a structural panel, because of its high compressive strength, they can put the next layer of walls, the next structural walls, right up on top of it. So you don't have to cut out around the walls. Okay. So it's super fast, super easy. When they go online and they go to YouTube and they look up, put in StructoCRETE and they start looking at some of those little short videos, they realize, wow, this is such a great way to go because there really is no downside to it.
Yeah.
And again, type 1, type 2 primarily, which are cold form steel frame, non-combustible. We do see some use in wood framing. Mass Timber has started looking at it because of some of the benefits we give with STC and IIC. So there's a lot of benefits. It's just a matter of getting those general contractors and those subs and everybody else to know, hey, this is here and here's how we can use it.
Well, we are so excited to help you spread the word because there's nothing better than saving weeks of time, especially on some of those big projects. And so are there any big projects that you guys have installed StructoCRETE that you want to talk about or that you can talk about or you want to say this?
There's a few that are ongoing in process, but we're, most of the major brands of hotels, we're in every major brand in the mid-rise area.
I love it.
When you get to high-rise, we can't be used in the high-rise except for certain applications, but the subfloor and roof deck for structural reasons. But most of the big chains out there, just about every theater that you go into today that has the auditorium style seating as opposed to the old sticky slope floor.
Yeah.
Most of those are StructoCRETE.
Okay.
It's everywhere.
Well, we can't wait to see some case studies come out so that we can help you spread the word even more.
Absolutely.
About how much time people can save with this. This is awesome.
Hope to provide those for you.
Yeah. Well, Phil, it's so great thank you so much for joining me. If anybody has any questions about StructoCRETE, where do they find more? Where do they find out about how to go?
You can just go to the USG website and Google in StructoCRETE in there. Search for that. It'll pop right up. And just give us a call. Grab the phone number on there. Call any of our reps. We'll be glad to help you.
I love it. Sounds great, Phil. Well, thank you so much. And if anybody has any questions for us, it is wconline.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for all our free content, especially first and foremost, follow us on our social media channels so you can stay up to date on all the great interviews we're doing like we are today with Phil at USG. But most importantly, stay safe and healthy, and we can't wait to talk to you soon. Thanks again, Phil.
Thanks, Jill. Appreciate it.
Take care.
You too.